You're listening to the BOTB Football Show with TJ Weber.
Let me tell you something. I'm on fire. You better listen to me. If you want to win this week, listen to TJ Weber.
Zach Zook.
I think that they're going to come out and just absolutely shit rail the Eagles.
Big Web.
Where's the beer?
And Nick Yale.
God, that was huge.
And welcome into Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road here in St. Louis, Missouri. Gentlemen, it's week 13 of the NFL, and look at this crowd here. Look at this crowd we got going on here. Crowd goes wild.
Crowd goes wild. Beautiful.
Unbelievable.
TJ, you returned. They heard you were coming back, and they showed up.
Obviously, they're here. That's what happens when I come to the table. Obviously, people want to see my beautiful face. People on Facebook Live want to see my beautiful face. It's all about me.
You actually look put together this week.
I do.
Last week you
Sobered up.
Shit.
You know what's funny is my father, he goes and takes a picture of me after,
that was a good
I
picture.
had some lettuce on my shirt. I had a
You looked
T-shirt
like a
with a
disaster.
blazer, and you guys had to put that on the show. Nick doesn't know how to run any of the system, but he figures out how to put a graphic of me looking stupid on the screen.
It's
So
the
that's
important
awesome.
things. I didn't do the pick'em standings. I didn't do any of the important stuff, but I made sure to get the picture of you looking like shit out on Facebook Live.
And that usually works.
It works.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what people want.
I'm glad I had a part in that one. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Big Web was our Uber on Sunday morning when TJ forgot all the stuff at the house. So
That's all right.
I didn't forget anything. It's
yeah,
one thing.
you forgot. Well, the most important thing to connect the camera.
That was a tough morning, man. Bobby Pin trying to get that door open. Get on. Yeah.
It was a
Big Web
tough
had
one.
to FaceTime me to find like the actual piece of equipment that would put the show on. The only piece that we didn't have.
Only one we didn't have. Unbelievable.
Week 15, holy crap. Week 13, live from
Week
Cafe
13.
Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road. Shout out to our fantastic sponsors. Cafe Telegraph, of course, the best smoked meats in town. Come on down. Nick says the coldest water as well.
Coldest water.
It is. It's very cold water. It's delicious. Great beer. Great food. Come on down. K. Roberts Remax Gold, who, of course, is in the audience today. Woo-hoo. The best real estate agent in town. You got to go to her. Again, we talked about Laura and I had to get a great opportunity and go buy a house. We're ready to buy a house. We worked with Kay. She's the best in town, along with Sarah Barron from Family Finance Mortgage. They work around the clock, gentlemen. They work around the clock. All they do is they sit there, they sell houses, they finance them, and they answer you 5 minutes from when you text them. It doesn't matter what time it is. It could be 7:30 at night. It could be 9:30 at night. They're like, hey, I'll send you a text. Just answer it tomorrow when you get a chance. No, they answer me in 5 minutes.
Bam.
They're the best in town. You got to get in touch with K. Roberts from Remax Gold, 314-409-4113, and Sarah Barron at 314-537-1282. And Nick, finally, last but not least, STL Distillery, big-time sponsor.
Boy, do they have a tasty vodka distilled from craft beer. It's called Brew Vodka, BRU Vodka. It's tasty. It's affordable at $19.99 a bottle. You can pick it up at stldistillery.com or go to 755 Friedens Road, TJ. Sweet B, not Sweet A. That's the ice cream place. In St. Charles, Missouri, 63303.
Grab some cookie dough while you're there.
Yeah. Get a little cookie dough ice cream. Get a bottle of vodka. Tell them TJ and Nick sent you from Brews on the Balcony, and you get a free tour and a free tasting.
Is that right?
Gotta love
Free
it.
tour and a free tasting. So especially this holiday season, it's a great gift for you or a friend or a family member. And be sure if you want to go check that place out, maybe have a date night with a girlfriend or a boyfriend or your family, take them over to 755 Friedens Road, St. Charles, Missouri, Suite B, 63303.
Ron Boyle comments from the audience says, I drove 300 miles to see this show. How about that? How about the dedication to the program right there?
That's dedication.
How about that? Love to see it.
Dedication.
Longest drive.
Right, and then Frank Roberts is saying, good morning. So obviously just so good vibes all the way in the text line. Nick, you're welcome to get involved. All the people can
Thank
get
you.
involved on Facebook
I'll
Live.
get involved.
You can if you want. I mean, that's up to you. You can text in if you like.
Our number one supporter, Tolly's here, too.
Yeah, Nick Tolley.
Gotta be sure to give him a shout-out so he doesn't
welcome,
yell at
Nick.
us.
See, Nick, I think he is upset. I'm shocked he came here because he's upset he was not in the top
I
5
know.
listener
I know.
list.
And the whole Yale family's here, too.
The whole Yale family, the Roberts, the Boyles, the Faheys. I mean, just great people all around
big
here.
Crowd today. Big crowd today.
Gotta love it.
Guys, we get into week 13. We'll get to the picks and the standings here in just a little bit, but some storylines we like to go over. Obviously, this is getting very interesting. We'll get to the fantasy stuff too, because for a lot of people, this is the week where you either make it or break it. You either make the playoffs or you're out.
It's game time.
Like for me, I'm 6-6 going into the week. It's going to be a tough one. We'll get to that in a second. But the big story, Nick, this is for you, is your true son, you call him,
Yes.
Drew Lock, from a Mizzou
QB1.
quarterback. getting his first
He has
NFL start
arrived. He has arrived.
here in Week 13 for the Denver Broncos.
He has arrived. He's ready to go. They pulled him off the IR this week, taking first-team snaps, going to be with the first-team offense, starting under center for the Denver Broncos. Now, spoiler alert, I didn't pick the Denver Broncos to win this game, but it's going to be interesting to see how he does. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I've said it time and time again. Kyler Murray's good, but I think Drew Lock is overall long-term going to be the best quarterback that comes out of this draft. Power arm there for Denver. They need to see what he can do. They need to see what he can do. They drafted him in the second round. He fell later into the draft, even though he is one of the best SEC quarterbacks statistically of all time. That cannon of an arm is
God, it's so good.
There's some question surrounding his accuracy.
I wish he could be
though.
on the team this year. That's just all I can say.
If
What's
he's
his hand size?
I don't know. I haven't checked out his hand size. Haven't measured those fingers.
Say
yes,
that.
we were spoiled at Missouri with Drew Lock, not knowing what we had.
I haven't measured his fingers, he says.
I haven't measured his fingers. The turmoil that's going on at Mizzou right now is we'll forget about that for the time being, because today is Drew Lock's day. Time to see him shine. But honestly, the Broncos have to see what they have in him. They drafted him second round. If he sucks, then they can move on in the draft in 2020. But if he is going to be their franchise guy, then they can stick with him and don't have to worry about a quarterback in this upcoming draft. So we'll see.
Drew
It'll be
Lock.
interesting to see what he does.
Drew Lock's going to be running like a scalded dog out there.
Sorry?
I mean, his first NFL game. I mean, he's just
What
going to
is
be
a
flying around.
scalded dog?
Oh, it's a dog that has been scalded, and he's just flying around the room. He's hot. He's not happy.
He's hot.
He's going to be slinging it, Big Web.
I know he's going to be swinging it.
dropping
I just don't
dimes.
know. You know, there's a lot of these
Prime
guys are
time
big out there. They're
dimes.
fast. I don't think he's going to see that. I mean, I know he's in there in preseason. He saw some, but we'll see. I hope he makes it. I'm rooting for
Yeah,
him.
but Nick sits here and talks about Mizzou like literally every moment of his life, and then finally Drew Lock starts and he picks against him. And not only does he pick against them, he locks the Chargers.
Yes.
I mean, what is the deal there?
It's
Yeah, those are competing theories.
I mean, I'm pulling a Zook here. I got my team. My team is not really my team. It's my quarterback, and Drew Lock. He's on my franchise team, on my dynasty team.
God, Nick, your team's so good.
And so
you got to hedge it.
You got to hedge
gotta
it.
hedge
You got to
it.
hedge it. That's smart. That's a smart play. So I win either way.
And by the way,
Okay.
Nick, who said he's the fantasy expert, will not be making the playoffs in the BOTB league, so he'll be running another beer mile.
I didn't put enough time into that league. I was dedicated to my two other leagues. You can't stretch yourself thin in fantasy. I do this every year. You got to do like one, maybe two leagues. Third one is, that's kind of a crapshoot. You can't.
So you're saying we're third in your life. That's great.
Yep.
That's great to hear.
That
awesome.
is fantasy.
Or last,
Fantasy
whatever.
wise,
That's
yes.
sick. Cool.
Yeah. But I'll own it. I'll take my punishment. The amount of punishments that we haven't done yet. I mean, I think there's a pitchfork mob waiting outside for the amount of punishments we haven't done.
Beer Mile will get run about the time we draft next year.
Yeah.
And the basketball game, too.
Yeah, that one.
I really want to see the basketball game. You guys need
So
to do
does
that.
everybody.
Basketball game has a set
It'll
timetable.
happen. It'll happen. I'll tell
December
you what.
28th.
I do have to give Nick a little shout out though, based on fantasy, because when we played the 1 week, I'm sitting there scrambling, trying to even get the damn thing to turn on, and he's like, "All right, Big Well, let me help you." And I go, "Who am I up against?" He goes, "Me." And he's picking my team against
And then
him,
you beat him, didn't you?
Yes, he did.
I did.
But
Yeah.
still,
Nice.
a very chivalrous move
Yeah.
from St. Nicholas 'tis the season.
Yeah, it is a season. I mean, that's what I do. I deliver, and I make people happy.
Gigi says happy birthday to Big Web and the K Roberts
Yes,
team. Obviously
yes.
celebrating their birthdays,
Both birthdays.
last week,
A lot of
right before
birthdays.
Thanksgiving.
A lot of November birthdays.
Now, Dad, you've always had a bone to pick with Kay Roberts, obviously, because her birthday's first. So you claimed something about the cakes where she got her
Oh, my
cake,
God.
and then you got the leftover cake just re-iced, basically.
Ever since she was born, my cake became a half of a pink cake covered in blue icing is all I got, because it was the very next day. That's all I got. Mistreated kid.
So
the
you're
whole time.
saying you didn't get fresh cakes?
Never. I still don't. In fact, she makes me a half a blue cake every year for my birthday.
half a blue cake. Nice.
Let's see. Sharon says Ron is a wild man. That's
true.
From Sharon. Kurt says TJ making Mo Zeta proud. Sig up, baby. Let's go. Proud Mo Zeta
Wow,
chapter.
wow.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it.
Another shot by Sharon Allen.
So,
Why does Nick wear his IQ on his shirt?
Pretty good.
So
Brutal.
TJ, Ron no longer has the longest drive to the show.
Who's? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, Mark Hessler's in the building, and Amy Hessler. All right.
The legend.
Now, obviously, Mark
legend
Hessler,
himself.
the leader in the pack right now in the BOTB pick'em. I mean, by like what, 6 right now? I think.
By a lot.
He's
Yeah.
up
It's
there.
just straight consistency across the
I
board.
mean, he's
there.
been just dominating everybody
Yeah.
so far this
Every
season.
week.
So
So if you want to steal Mark's picks, come down to Cafe Telegraph.
Absolutely.
Living legend.
He'll be
Absolutely.
signing autographs and giving advice till
Yeah,
noon.
for sure.
All right. Also, guys, Thursday we had a few games going on for Thanksgiving.
We did.
You know what's interesting is we have a BOTB football group chat going on, and we all had discussed the picks that we had for Thursday. We were going to do a midweek show, didn't end up working out. We were all busy. You know, we got lives, we got families, all that
Happy
stuff.
hour.
Happy hour. So we're sitting there, and we had to make our picks, and we all agreed to take first the Bears, the Bills, and finally the Saints.
Correct.
Well, they all won.
They all
I
won.
ended up on my own picks having a last-minute change, and I
That's
went to the
'cause you're-
Dallas Cowboys.
because you're an idiot.
Because I'm sitting there going,
tough
you
one.
know,
Don't ever do that.
Jason Garrett's got to win. They haven't beat anybody this
It's
season.
pick 'em 101.
And,
don't go back. Don't reverse your picks.
And unfortunately, they lost, so I'm out of the pick 4 this week.
Oh, you put him
Tough.
in pick 4?
I went for it. Thanksgiving, I always go for it, man. I always go for it.
You were so close.
I was,
I was
man.
saying we should have gone.
Bet on the
as our
clapper, man.
Yeah.
panel
I
should have
know.
done our
Tough.
pick 4 for that. We would be sitting pretty right now.
We would be
on Sunday.
smacking.
We'd be 3-0, and just one game you need to win on Sunday.
I did hit the Bears in the pool on Turkey Day. So,
you really?
Yeah, I got a little something.
There you go.
Nice.
Small
We'll see.
taste.
See if we can parlay it into something today.
Very nice.
Let's see. Greg Zook says, happy birthday to Zach, one of your hosts. It's your birthday today?
Well, no, on Friday, Black Friday.
Yeah,
Black Friday it was.
Friday
Well, happy
your
birthday to Zook. I mean, I knew it was, but I thought it was today. Now I feel terrible.
Like I said, the amount of November birthdays that we've had within the
wow.
BOTB family are a ton.
Yep,
It is wild.
that's my dad giving me a birthday shout out. Yeah, I got this awesome quarter zip for my
I
birthday,
mean,
so
Zook,
I'm
Big
ready.
looking
Web,
good,
Big
man.
T.
Yeah,
Kay,
this is birthday month.
Kendall,
for sure.
Tam. And there's so many November birthdays.
A lot of November birthdays out there.
So many November birthdays.
Now we go into December. It's happy holiday season. That's what it
Happy
is.
holidays.
I'm really excited about the Christmas season.
What do you get me for Christmas, TJ?
I don't know. What did I get you last year? Like it was like a
Box of crackers
box
and
of
a-
crackers that were half eaten or
and,
something.
and an unopened oatmeal.
Yeah.
Just one, though.
That's love.
Only two- I gave you 2
That's
packets.
all love.
Hey, where's
Oh, you did
Christian
give me
at?
2 packets.
Christian.
I haven't seen Christian yet today.
Christian's
I
not
want-
around. I don't know.
I want free wings for my birthday.
Calling out.
Throwing that out
calling
there.
Out
Don't we
Cafe
all?
Tea.
We talk about how relatable we are, and then we're big stars. We need free food around
Yep.
here. Yeah, absolutely.
I am not above free food ever.
Nice.
Let's see. So, guys, we talked about it. So, for the fantasy playoffs, you know,
Yes.
a lot of people fighting to be able to make to the fantasy playoffs today. You know, I myself have a predicament. I want to see if you guys can help me out. So, I've been told to not start DeAndre Hopkins this week against the Patriots.
I'm on the same predicament with you.
Stephon Gilmore. So the only other people that I have to put in right now, because I got Saquon Barkley and Ingram starting at running back. I got Miles Sanders in at flex.
Nice,
I'm
definitely.
leaving Cooper Kupp on the bench because he has been terrible
Yeah.
the last 3 weeks. So would you agree with starting Hopkins over Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, I would.
I think so, too.
would too.
Yeah.
I think New England's defense they've been awesome all year long, but there's going to be flaws. Baltimore exposed that.
Exactly.
And they are going to be a team that, even though they're still the number one defense, Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, when they connect, when they're clicking, I mean, there's not a defense in the NFL that can.
But
beat
New England's
those,
been,
beat
I mean,
those guys.
Stephon Gilmore, someone told me, I could be completely wrong, but the last 3 weeks he hasn't
Probably
given up a
wrong.
reception yet.
Oh, he's incredible.
So
but
that's what scares me.
here's the thing that
Well, I got Deshaun at quarterback too,
Yeah.
and I have Tom Brady on the bench. So I'm just trying to determine: do I play Tom Brady or do I play Deshaun Watson?
You got to play Watson.
Well, the outcome of the game doesn't matter for this because for Hopkins, you would actually want them to be losing almost because
then they go
throw the
for it
ball
late.
more.
They play 60 minutes no matter what. So
Right.
even if they're getting blown out by 21, they're going to be playing prevent defense, and Hopkins can get some garbage time receptions. So I would play him, especially like you drafted him so high. You got to
You
kind
got to
of ride
put
or
him
die.
in. It's one of those guys that you have to start. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right.
it doesn't matter if he's had 0 points the last 3 weeks.
Maybe-
It's DeAndre Hopkins.
It'd
you know?
be one thing if like maybe Cooper Kupp had been going off the last couple
Well,
weeks.
he's been going a
but-
downslide.
Yeah.
And the Rams are terrible right now. Just
They're really
brutal.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, Goff just looks scared.
They cannot block, and they got to play Chandler Jones in the Cardinals front today.
That one
So,
scares
good
me,
luck.
too. I think a lot of people like the Rams because of the low number, but the Cardinals are feisty at home. That's the best word I can think of. They're always able to move the
in it.
football.
They're
You know what I
frisky.
mean? And they're late covers. You know what I mean?
The other thing with Hopkins is Fuller's playing today. And when he's on the field, it allows Hopkins to get open because he's not double covered.
Well, that's the other thing
That's
I
true.
thought, though, where Fuller could be a big-time DFS play because if Hopkins
Yeah.
is shut down, which would be bad for me, I do have him in other leagues. Will Fuller could have a huge
Will
day.
Fuller before he got injured had a nice nice set of targets coming his way and was really the fantasy play over DeAndre Hopkins before his injury. And then obviously Hopkins kind of regained some of that momentum when Fuller was injured, and then has seen some of that success the past couple of weeks. But Fuller's always a route for a big play guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. This is a big week because you don't want to make the wrong decision this week.
Yeah, well, this is, I mean, like I said, this is pretty much the last week before playoffs kick in, and especially if you're a fringe team right now that's looking to make the playoffs, you got to make sure you make the right decisions because, I mean, like in the BOTB league and one of my other leagues, I got burnt by not making one or two starts, and it ended up in one or two losses, which ended up being the difference of me being in the playoffs and being out of the playoffs. Now, my money league I'm in, and I made a great trade getting Leonard Fournette.
Good job,
like
Nick.
I
Great
said,
trade.
you got to.
I made a great trade.
I made a great trade. Well, you got to make a trade if you want to win your fantasy league. You always have to make at least one trade.
Yeah.
And so that was the trade that hopefully will set me over the top and give me a fantasy victory. So my cash league, I'm doing well, but BOTB, not so much.
I'm telling you something right now. If I do not make the playoffs, I 100% will blame Daniel Jones and will never, ever like the guy.
You got to
ever.
blame yourself
Dude,
for that.
the worst fantasy loss of all time.
That
was-
is one of the worst
that
beats
was
I've ever
one
seen.
And if I
in
lose by
fantasy.
one loss, I will. Oh my god! I will never pick the Giants again. I will never start that. He's on my BOTB team too. I want to drop him and just lose the league because I'm so pissed at him.
Just get rid of him.
It's like literally the only thing that could beat you.
Get
6
rid
seconds
of
left,
him.
and they run back a fumble recovery. Like, what are you talking about?
What's Daniel Jones' hand size?
I don't
Get
care.
over it. Get over it.
Tolly chimed in and said that Gilmore was one of 12 Patriots
12.
with the flu this week.
Oh yeah, big time.
I
They
didn't
had
know about that.
17 earlier in the week.
12 of them.
12 guys.
Oh,
with
so
the
Gilmore
flu.
is out, or they don't know yet? They don't
Not
know
sure.
yet.
They'll
Not sure.
probably all play, you would think.
They're going to give it a shot, maybe.
They'll fire up the flu buckets on the sideline.
Interesting.
But
Puke bucket.
it's not Brady though. They kept him in a hermetically sealed booth.
Yeah,
all
he
week.
was
Around his
quarantined.
locker.
And Frank said Mark wants to wear the crown too.
I think he
because
deserves it. I think we
definitely-
could give him a crown
he
today.
definitely
Yeah, yeah.
deserves
Good
it.
idea.
We can throw him a crown a little bit.
Once we get to the crown counter, we'll
Yeah.
Play the
definitely
music.
give him,
play the
an
music for him.
opportunity as the number one guy in the BOTB Pick'em League.
Let's see. Sharon/Mike Allen says
Sharon/Mike.
Mount Rushmore of Cafe Telegraph food. 1, chicken par fried wings. 2, is it Pius?
Pius?
Yeah.
St. Pius fish.
Yeah, the fish.
That's
People
good.
love. People like the
3,
fish.
Fred Flintstone pork steak, which is awesome. And 4, whatever
than
Old
my
Man
head.
Webb eats. So, Dad, what's your go-to? He says you're number 4.
He just named all of them. What do you expect me to do? I guess
That pork steak is bigger than my
It
head.
feeds you
That's-
for 3
that's saying-
days.
That's
the
saying
chicken
something.
quarters. Give me the chicken quarters because they match the same par fried.
There you go.
Take that.
to chicken quarters. Okay, so here we go. It is time now to name the kings of last
Kings,
week. So
not me.
We'll go ahead and play the music.
two.
I think he deserves it. I think we could give. What am I doing here?
What are you doing, TJ?
I don't know. I got another show going on here.
you leave for 1 week and you start screwing up the ones and twos.
That's what happens on this show. It's not a
Golly.
perfect science. I don't know.
Never. Have you ever had a clean show? I
Nick,
don't think so.
do a live read real quick.
Do a live read. Well, we're here at Cafe Telegraph.
All right, okay, we're good. Zook, congratulations last week. 4-2 on the week.
About time you return.
Just a great job. Crowd goes wild for Zook. Now I have to reset. Go ahead and hand it to your left to old Big Web over there. Also 4-2 on the week. Congratulations to
back.
Big Web.
Me and Big Web are coming back from the depths of hell.
Actually,
The big comeback, baby.
actually fits your head.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It does fit Zook's head, actually.
Yeah, kind of.
Nick's got to undo it and just tape it in the back.
Yeah, it does not fit around
When
my
you
head.
play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die.
So it's getting close, guys. Last week, I should say the last 2 weeks because Nick missed last week because he doesn't prepare right. So last 2 weeks, Zook leads away 9-4 in the last 2 weeks. 9-4 for Zook.
I've climbed out of the
the pits
abyss.
of the abyss
Yes.
of
The
the
abyss.
San Diego Chargers.
I've climbed
or
out
the
of
Los
the
Angeles
world
Chargers.
of suck. Yeah, I've
world
stopped
of
picking the
suck.
Chargers. Well, the Chargers have been okay. The Chargers and the Titans are my two teams that I always pick, but I'm not picking either of them this week. So,
Nice.
Be prepared for another week.
Let's see. Nick goes 8-5 in the last 2 weeks. 6-1 back in week 11. Pretty good. Dad goes 7-6. Not bad at all.
I'll take it.
His crown counter goes to 5. Zook's now at 3 crowns. See, Zook's in second place, but only 3 crowns. It's pretty wild. He's been consistently
I feel like I've
in
been in
second.
second or third a lot.
And then I'm
Powerhouse
6-7.
weeks by myself. Zook can't catch me.
Yeah, no. Nick's at 6 crowns. I got 4. Big
I'm
Web's got
6?
5, and
I was
Zook's
at
got 3.
7.
No, you're at 6.
I'm 4.
Maybe you're 7 from last week. Yeah, you're
I'm
7 from last week. All right,
Thank
all right,
you.
all right.
Thank you.
So listen to these overall standings. We all know where Nick was at one
Thank
point. We all know where Big
you.
Web was at one point. It was about a 12-game separation. This is how close it is. Nick leads the way at 39-39. He's 500 on the season. Behind him is Zook, who is 35-43. So right on his coattails. I'm at 34-45, also right on his coattails. And then Big Web, the comeback of the century, 31-47. He's right back in the mix.
Oh, he said that. He said that at the beginning of the season.
There's still time. That's what I tell you every week.
Well, it's still
It's a marathon.
The thing is, though, you were like 2 in like 20 or something. It was terrible.
5 weeks
right.
left.
It's probably the worst start in like picks
You
history.
got to learn the league first. And
If I go
here we are.
4-3 or better the rest of the way, I'm good.
You should be good to go. I don't know.
I'm covered.
Big Web, where do we sit? I know we're going to go over your best bet for this week, but where do we sit currently?
We are currently positive $90.
All right.
Starting through 13 weeks.
13 weeks, haven't put any more money in. I love to see it.
Money, same bankroll all year.
Nice.
We're at $90. We almost hit again last week. We just missed one on the tees, and but the Baltimore Ravens pulled it out, and we won the straight bet, so we kept our money.
Nice.
There we
so
go.
are you going for it this week? Can you give a little tease to the
absolutely.
audience?
No, we're pissing it away today. Too, yeah.
Pissing it away.
What's the
That's way to
movie,
go.
the horse movie or whatever, when he puts like 60 grand on the race? He pissed it all away.
Pissed it
Yeah.
all away.
So that's watch that one. Is it going to be a teaser? Is it going to be a parlay?
Got another teaser and a straight to cover it. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Well, TJ, one of our NFL guys, he had a big week. He was standing to win if the Rams had covered on Monday Night Football, $72,000.
Oh wow!
And so he flew to Vegas, hedged on the Ravens with a $30,000 bet, and he cashed. So he made $30,000 on Monday Night Football. That was a big play by our guy James.
Dad goes, there you go, not bad.
That was a big
30,000. It's all right.
Cashed
pretty good
30.
day's work.
Cashed 30,000. That was the play of the week.
All right, so we go to the BOTB Pick'em standings. I mean, he's in the crowd. He's been dominating. Mark Hessler has broken 100 wins at 103 at the top of the leaderboard. Congratulations to Mark Hessler.
We flew
leading
him
the
in.
pack.
We flew him in for the award.
That's right.
Flew him in for the award.
Not the award. He's still got some weeks to go. He's still got some time going on. We also pick playoffs in this league, so this is interesting. You go through the playoffs. You pick throughout the entire thing to the Super Bowl, so it's going to get close.
Got to go all the way.
Now, Jake Scott, he was down by 7 at one point. He's made it within 5. He's got 98. Mark's at the top at 103. Tolly, who's also in the audience today, he's got 96. He's in 3rd, tied with Wedwick, who's also at 96. And I'm in 5th with 95 right now. Let me do some scrolling. Nick's at 88 in 11th. Zook's also at 88.
Getting beat by Laura. Damn,
and
that's
Big
tough.
Webb's at 86. So making a late push there. But I think it's between, if I had to guess, obviously me.
You can't win,
Wedwick,
so-
Tolly, Jake Scott, and Mark Hessler. I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, I think
screw up, Tolly.
It might be
Don't screw
interesting
up, Mark.
since we do have Marky Mark in the audience.
Uh-huh.
Maybe at the end we'll pull him in for a love if he's got a love today of a pick.
Sure.
Today.
We can bring him in right now
Yeah.
if you want.
Well, whatever. I mean, Marky Mark, he might need 10 minutes to study, or he might already know. I don't
All right,
know.
well, we'll
you
put
put-
him. Well, he'll come up right now.
Here he
Let's
comes.
bring him
He's
up.
got
Mark
his-
Hessler's
he's got his
coming on the
picks
show.
ready.
Oh, we need you on a microphone.
Yeah.
Mark
you gotta
Hessler,
come
come
Mark
on
Hessler,
down.
come on down.
Come on down.
Is this our first guest besides
First
us
guest-
four? All right.
First guest appearance on the show.
I mean, obviously
How we
deserving
doing,
of it.
sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Now, Mark, you've been dominating this year. Is there a secret to your success?
Blind luck.
Blind luck.
Flipping a coin, huh?
No, she don't let me play with coins.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, you've been dominating so far, but you've been in this pick'em stuff for a while, haven't you, with Big Web?
Yes, many years. Oh, wait, we started this in like. Yeah, like 1990. We started the pool.
Is that right? Wow, that's
Before
awesome.
we were born.
Way before we were born. So they kind of know what they're doing. You look for different trends, though, right? So, like, I've noticed whenever I pick, I try to stay with certain teams certain years, and it either screws me or I flourish. Is there certain teams you kind of look for each week?
No, but I do. I'm off Denver now. No more Denver.
Because of Drew Lock?
I can't
Say
lose
I'm
with
off
them.
Denver too.
How's it make you feel, Nick?
I picked them this week, but I'm not going to put them in the pool, any good pools.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you got who's your love of the week this week? You got some interesting games. You missed out on 3 now for the Thanksgiving game, so you got a little bit less of a field
Yeah,
now.
give us some winners.
Arizona. I think Arizona will beat the Rams today. Tony's beloved Rams.
Yeah, I don't think I'm on Arizona.
I think
like
they'll
that.
win outright.
Oh, you think they win outright?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, you think Arizona will just beat the Rams?
Zona's at
Yes.
home. Are they at home?
They're at home.
They are at home.
Plus
yes.
4.5
Plus
to the Rams.
4.5 to the Rams.
That's correct. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. Kyler Murray always keeps it close.
He does,
He
yeah.
finds a way to score late and keep that spread down. So
does.
that's going to be a good one. So, Mark, if you had to give people out there that may have, the needs to do a parlay or they need to do a teaser, what are your top 4 picks if you can off the top of your head?
Arizona.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put Pittsburgh in there. I know they're starting a new quarterback today, but guess what? I think they have a much better defense, and I think they'll play more disciplined than Cleveland. I think Cleveland will do something really dumb again at some point, and that'll be the difference in the game.
Okay.
It's also going to be interesting because of what happened with Myles Garrett's situation a
Yes.
couple weeks ago. Garrett obviously not playing, suspended. Mason Rudolph also not playing today as Hodges has taken his job. So maybe it'll be a little bit calmed down, but that Pittsburgh and Cleveland game should be good. The head coach, Freddie Kitchens, did you see the shirt he was wearing yesterday?
No, I didn't.
What did he said? It said something about Mason Rudolph, didn't it? Or it said
No, it said Pittsburgh started it.
Yeah. Pittsburgh started a T-shirt at practice
Yeah.
during the press conference, so should get
That's
interesting.
just
What an idiot.
dumb move. Just dumb
What an
move.
idiot. Yeah, well, I like both those
Just
picks. What are
stupid.
your other 2, Mark?
I have no other real loves, but I think Tampa will pull it out.
Okay. I like Tampa.
We needed a Florida team in there.
Gotta have Florida.
Gigi from Florida obviously chiming in.
Right.
She says, nice Florida tan, Mark. That's what she says. She had to get a good look at you. So yeah, I think that's going to be good. I don't know. This one this week is kind of tough. Again, it's always tough with Thanksgiving week too because you got all the teams playing, but you miss out on 3 good games on Thursday that you kind of not pick against.
Right.
So I don't know. That's pretty good. So Mark, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks,
Obviously
sir.
dominating this season. So let's give a hand for Mark Ressler again. Mark Hessler. Mark Ressler's my father-in-law. He also listens to the program.
He does.
Yeah.
I had all the same picks that Hessler said,
Of
except
course you did.
except for the Tampa Bay one.
We're going to take a screenshot of that and post it. Absolutely.
That'll be good. Very good. Oh, that was funny.
Except I went the other way on Jacksonville, but he now made me feel better about
Yeah, I don't know.
picking the
I
Broncos.
might be
and some of the
shaking. I
other
might be
ones.
shaking some of my picks up. Never know.
All right, boys. Are we ready to
Yes.
to get to the picks of the week? Obviously,
we are ready.
pumped up about this week. It should be a good one. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, by the way. If hopefully you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Didn't get to really talk about that yet as we're now into Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
Always
Again,
do.
Yeah,
once
just-
Thanksgiving's over, it's like Christmas
boom.
is like midnight. It's
Yeah, our
Christmas
trees
time.
are ready
so,
up.
That's right.
so it's ready to go. All right, so the first one we have, if anybody is tuning in for the first time, first of all, welcome. Second of all,
Welcome.
we picked the top 4 games, 4 competitive games, as Big Web likes to say, because I think it's just an excuse that he's in last,
Yep.
that we pick tough games, tough spreads, not usually what a gambler would usually do, but they're interesting for the audience. So first one we have, San Francisco at the Baltimore Ravens. Frank Roberts in town with the Baltimore Ravens shirt, obviously, hoping to get a big-time win by his Ravens as, let me see the number, 5.5. Baltimore's minus 5.5.
Alrighty, I am rocking the Ravens today. I thought that line moved in Baltimore's favor a little bit by a point, but I'm not sure what it's at right now. It's right around that 4.5, 5.5 range. I like the Ravens in this game. I really do. I think that the 49ers are an exceptional club, but this is a 10 a.m. game for them.
Exceptional club.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Talking football?
They're an exceptional football
Sexual
club,
club?
but they're coming all the way to the East Coast. So I think it's going to be a tough test for them. This is the second leg of what is going to be the toughest 3-game stretch in NFL history, according to the records. And I don't think that they'll be able to slow down the Ravens' rushing attack in the East Coast weather.
Yeah, I think the East Coast weather definitely is going to play a factor in this one for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, I was a little bit questionable about them early on in the season, some of the teams that they beat, but now they've shown that they can beat good teams, and San Francisco is a good ball club. And so I think Bosa is going to have his hands full trying to get after this quarterback because Lamar Jackson can run, he can juke, and he's the real deal. So give me Baltimore in this one.
Big Web?
I've been going back and forth on this game all week. I love Frisco, as you guys know, but last week we're all over Green Bay, and then they got shit-railed out there on the West Coast. So I'm making the old Sunday morning switcheroo. We're going to go with Baltimore here. This is going to be a smash-mouth soak fest. Give me the Ravens at home.
We got rain, weather report, we got rain.
We got total rain.
We got
man.
total
Rain
downpour.
everywhere.
That's right.
Big Web, you're picking against your
There's
Frisco
the side.
Niners
There's the
I
side.
am
with
here.
points.
I am here. Yes, sir.
Man,
I tell you
I
what,
hate clean sweeps.
And here's what it is. Here's what's haunting me, and it's when we were sitting right here watching on that TV right there.
That TV right
they
there.
played Washington in
That
about
TV.
week 5 in the rain, and San Francisco only scored 9 points. San Francisco needs the pass more than the Ravens do. That's where I'm at.
I can't believe this. I went back and forth too. I'm taking the
Oh.
Niners. I'm
Oh.
going with the 49ers.
He's on an island.
5.5. Tally loves it. He loves it over there.
He's on an island.
So it originally was at 2.5. That number made a lot of sense. But 5.5, you're giving San Francisco. That is just blatant disrespect. I think if anybody
That's what I
can,
said against Houston, too, and see how that turned out.
well, the thing is, I think if any defensive line can kind of squeeze Lamar Jackson, it's going to be the 49ers defense.
We haven't seen it yet, though, so.
But it's also raining. We haven't seen him really in those
Weather's
conditions
huge.
either. So I think that it could be a sloppy game, a
Home
close
field
one.
advantage for Lamar.
This is a 3-point game, fellas.
That over/under is still at around 45 points right now.
It's going to be sloppy on the pitch.
I like that down.
Sloppy
I
on the
like that
pitch.
under.
Nice.
Wow, I can't believe I'm by myself on that one. It's going to be a good football game. Should be fun. Sunday night football, correct?
No,
It's
12
a
o'clock.
nooner.
Is that noon?
Yeah.
Noon.
Really?
Yeah.
Pats Texans
It-
is Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right, so I got San Francisco. Everybody else has the Baltimore Ravens. We move on. Tennessee at the Indianapolis Colts. I had it at 2. I don't know if it changed. It's 1 now. It's literally a pick 'em. Indy +1.
So the Titans are one of my teams, guys. That I've like the last 2 years, for whatever reason, I just tend to watch them a lot. And if you read our preseason articles, we talked about how Ryan Tannehill was going to play this year when they
Yeah.
signed him from the Miami Dolphins, and he has completely uplifted that offense. They really put the Jaguars in a body bag, their defense last week, which was shocking to see. But this is the Tennessee Titans team. They usually lose this game. This is the game where Tennessee needs it to win. They can get over the hump with a win here. They usually choke in this moment. So I'm going to take Indy. They're at home, and they have shown the culture and the toughness to win these games, especially since hiring Frank
coach.
Reich.
The culture. Culture.
They remember they started 1-5 last year and were able to overcome that. They've overcome the Andrew Luck retirement this season. It's a good football team in Indianapolis, and I think Tennessee's tough, but I like Indy in a coin flip.
Nick?
I like that you like Indy because I'm going the other way in this one. And that's nothing more than I like picking against Zook when we normally have all of the same picks, it seems like. I like Tennessee in this one. And he's got a stout run defense, but Derrick Henry has been one of the most surprising running backs in fantasy this year and in the league. I mean, he's always kind of been a question mark at running back. Is he going to be able to get into the end zone at all? And last week he had a big performance, 2 touchdowns, and like Zook said, Tannehill, once they brought him in, he's kind of turned that offense around, and Tennessee needs to win this game, and it's one that I think they finally can win. Against Indy Tennessee games are always a toss-up because they're always about even, but give me Tennessee in this one. Look for Derrick Henry to have a big game.
Big Web?
Henry had 2 strong games in a row, 159 yards versus the Jags and 188 versus the Chiefs. Both teams are 6-5. Tannehill's the difference. He's got them rolling. They got the momentum. You got to give me Nashville here.
You know, I like the Colts for a second until, again, you look at the injury report. Marlon Mack out, T.Y. Hilton out, and the Tennessee Titans are starting to move the football, as Dad said. So I'm going to leave Zook on an island here.
Dangerous.
And I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans. This is going to be a good football game, these two guys. But there's so many injuries on the Indianapolis side. You have to go with Tennessee in this situation.
If you're just a pure football fan, this is a huge game for not only the division in the AFC South, but also that second AFC wildcard spot. Because the Bills are going to be in one. Likely, whoever doesn't win the AFC South, whether that be Texans, Colts, Titans, they're all kind of in the mix. One of those teams is going to get left out. One of them's going to be a division winner, and the other one's probably going to be the 6th seed.
Must win for both teams.
Tally says Colts defense is finally healthy. They win today. And their offense isn't, though. Their offense isn't.
We got to get one more pick on this Indianapolis game. Ron Boyle's in town from Indianapolis.
That's right.
Up or down? What was that?
Indianapolis
He's
because they're
got
at
Indy.
home. He goes
There
Indy
we
at
go.
home. That's going to be the Colts. All right.
You would take him? You like him?
This is pretty split. All
He
right.
doesn't want any traffic when he drives back through.
It's pretty split. Okay. All right. We move on. This is going to be, I think, the most interesting game of the week, in my opinion, because I think a lot of people, I'm curious to see where you guys go. We got New England at Houston. and the New England Patriots are favored by 3 points, according to oddshark.com.
I love New England this week. This is one of my favorite plays of the week. If you remember back in the summer, again, we wrote an article about this on bruiseonthebalcony.com. You should check out all the blogs and articles that TJ, Nick, myself, and others
Nice
write.
plugs,
to
Zook. That a
contribute.
baby.
There we go.
Nice.
For the brand.
For the brand.
We wrote about how the Texans basically tried to steal a front office executive from the New England Patriots and were ousted by Bill Belichick because if you come at the king, you better not miss. And they missed. The New England Patriots filed a grievance against the Texans. They had to then drop their pursuit of this guy, and now they don't have a GM. Bill O'Brien's the GM and the coach, and the second that happened, I circled the calendar. Bill is going to try and murder the Houston Texans. Well, it's come around, and the Texans have some huge issues. Bill has the war machine rolling, and it's only 3 points. So I love the Pats this week.
Wow.
Yeah, New England. Now, what do we think about New England's offense here? Do we think Tom Brady's gonna have a good game? Yes or no?
I think it's the GOAT. I don't think he'll do good enough.
If you're asking me to start him over Deshaun Watson, I say no.
Yeah, no way.
Don't
But
start him
will
over
they win?
Deshaun Watson.
As far as fantasy, no.
As far as fantasy, no. So I am gonna put Deshaun Watson in at quarterback, but I'm gonna go for a high-scoring affair and say Tom still has a great game. I agree with Zook. When Bill Belichick wants to stomp on your throat, he's gonna do it. He's gonna try to run up the score in this game. Give me New England all the way.
Big Web?
Deshaun Watson is 0-2 versus Tom Brady, but both of those games, Fuller was out. It's the same point I talked about earlier. Hopkins is going to do better. Fuller's going to do better. Give me Houston at home in this game.
Yeah, I'm going with that. I'm taking Houston as well. Do we know who's all out right now with the illness, Tolly? He's a Patriots guy. You don't know? One guy's been ruled out. Gilmore, though, a lot of guys are affected by it. I think this is going to get to him a little bit.
Patriots flu game.
It's the flu game, but I don't know. I like the Texans. They need to win. 7-4, obviously. They've been moving the ball very well lately. Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins have been really hooking up lately, doing well. So this should be a good one at home. The Patriots offense does scare me, but I think with everything going on with the illness in the locker room and the Texans being at home, I feel like this will be a close contest, and I could see this one pushing for sure.
Yeah.
You know, if the Patriots win by 3, I could see the Texans winning by 3 as well. So I think it'll be a close one, but I'm going to go with Dad and take the Houston Texans in this game. All right, the final top 4 game we have, Minnesota at the Seattle Seahawks. And I had Seattle at 3. Let's see if it changed at
I
all.
thought that was still about right.
They are -2.5, actually. That's a big change.
I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I think this is going to be a really close football game. Two football teams that really like to do the same thing philosophically. The Vikings want to run the football and play defense, and so do the Seahawks. So I'm just going to give the edge to Seattle in this game. They'll be at home with the 12th man in prime time. Never an easy place to travel to go win, especially. I mean, it's a pretty far flight from Minnesota. So I think the Seahawks are just a little bit better, and I think that they'll pull this one out.
This game is surrounded by one player, and focus on how one player plays on the Seattle Seahawks, and that's Chris Carson, and can he hang on to the football? He's fumbled it, I think 7-10 times, somewhere in that range. He's running back with the most fumbles this year in the league, and when he hangs on to the ball, Seattle tends to win. When he fumbles, get closer games, and if you give Minnesota an opportunity to win the turnover battle, they're going to score points behind Kirk Cousins. So I'm expecting Chris Carson, coming off a bad week, to rebound and have a good game, hang on to the football, and Seattle will win this one at home.
Big Web?
This is by far the toughest game on the Vikings schedule all year long. I mean, they've been playing soft teams, Falcons, Raiders, Giants, Redskins, Broncos. Plus, they got 2 weak division foes in the
20-point comeback against the Broncos at home, too. That was the last time they were on a football field.
Yeah, against a soft team. So I love Seattle at home here. They're a much stronger football team. I think the Vikings are going to be exposed right here. So give me Seattle.
Yeah, as Nick always says, I hate to have clean sweeps. I'm taking
He's not
Seattle
gonna do it anymore
as
now.
well. I love Seattle today. I have a really bad predicament today where I have to win this game in fantasy. I have a Seattle defense and I have Minnesota defense. Literally the worst possible combo, and nobody in waivers is worth it. So I'm starting Seattle at home over that one. But I think they're going to move the football. 2.5 is a super low number against the Vikings. I know they're a late kind of team where they can start turning it on in the third quarter. However, the Seahawks defense should be smash mouth at home. I don't see Cook doing as well as he has all year. And I think Seattle's just kind of one of those teams that's starting to kind of pick it up at the end of the season. So I got Seattle as well. Move on to the toilet bowl game of the week. Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Oof.
So the
It's,
Jets
Cincinnati
have actually,
+3, by the way.
Yeah, Jets have actually been playing a lot better football last 2 or 3 weeks. But we talked about this on the show last week. Will Cincinnati win a football game? Well, Andy Dalton's starting again today, so they have abandoned the Ryan Finley experiment. They know they have a 2-game lead for Joe Burrow at number 1 overall, so they're like, okay, Red Rifle, you can go back in the game and get us a win and get us off the schneid. I think that's what's going to happen today. I like the Bengals +3 at home. You're getting +3 to a Jets team that I just don't feel is very good. I know they're playing better football and they've been more consistent as of late, but I would be a little shocked. I just think it's going to be tough for a team like that to go on the road to Ohio and win, regardless of how bad the Bengals are. If Finley was starting, I would pick the Jets, but Andy Dalton is way, way better than him, so it'll make a difference.
Putting Andy Dalton into the game says to me that the Bengals don't know what they're doing with their offense. If it were me, I would still run the ball with Joe Mixon, but putting Andy Dalton in the game means that they're not going to run Joe Mixon as much, and they're going to throw it a little more, which they're not good at. And so they're not going to be able to put up points. The Jets dominated last week. I'm going to look for them to dominate again. Give me the Jets in this one.
Jets have scored 34 points in 3 straight ball games. Windy weather up there. Dalton's back on the field. I hate Dalton. Dalton hates me. Go with the Jets.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Jets. I don't know why. I don't really care.
That's all you got.
I really don't care. I think they're going to score a lot of points,
Leave
like
and
Dad
Zook on an
said.
island.
They've been able to just score a lot
Zook's
lately.
I got a home dog.
But, I mean, Cincinnati's been terrible. I don't care if Dalton's back. And the poor guy in Cincinnati's still on his roof. He says he wasn't going to leave his roof until the Bengals
Still
win a
on the
game.
roof.
Well,
They got to win
they haven't
for
won
him,
yet.
TJ. They got to win.
It's been 12 weeks.
What happens if they go in 16? Is he
He's
just
staying there till next season. Or does preseason count?
He's staying there till next year.
It's
have
going to
to
be a
build himself a little
long week
hut.
or a long year.
Long year for that guy on the roof.
So I'll take the Jets. I don't really know why. All right, moving on to underdog pick of the week.
I am rolling with Hessler with this pick. I love the Arizona Cardinals as home dogs against the shitty LA Rams. The Rams have been, probably one of the worst teams in the NFC if you're just looking at the last 4 weeks. They cannot protect Jared Goff at all. They cannot run the football at all because their offensive line is so porous, and you're having to give up more than a field goal going on the road playing what TJ said was a frisky Arizona Cardinals team with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. That offense is kind of rolling. They really screwed my fantasy team by just benching David Johnson apparently, but they're still playing good football. The Arizona Cardinals actually have an underrated pass rush because of some of the pieces they have there. So I think they'll be able to get after Jared Goff. I think the Cardinals are going to win this one outright.
Big Web? Or, sorry, Nick. How you doing, Nick?
Big Web can go first. That's fine.
All right, Nick. So I kind of like the Texans as a dog here with the field goal against New England. Absolutely. I like what's going on in that game. I think you're going to see a different team down there in Houston, and New England is not what everybody thinks they are. They've had a soft schedule, and they're only winning games by a touchdown nowadays, and those were against a couple weaker teams.
All right, Nick.
I like the Steelers to win. They got Duck back in at QB. Without Mason in there, I think.
Quack.
Quack, quack.
Duck's an upgrade, I think.
Duck
think he
is
is
an
too.
upgrade over Mason.
James
Rudolph.
Conner is out today
and
again.
I think there's too much of a distraction for Cleveland coming back to this game after the whole Myles Garrett situation happened. I agree with Mark that Cleveland's going to make some stupid mistakes. They always do. Baker hasn't looked himself at all this year. They've had spurts of greatness, but it's not enough to beat the Steelers, who are, time and time again, a good team despite this season where they struggle. Tomlin's still a great head coach, and I think he'll get the job done in this week against the Browns.
I'm taking the Niners, 5.5 against Baltimore. I think Jimmy G will keep it close, man. I like that pick a lot. I think It was a 2.5. I wanted to take Baltimore 2.5, but 5.5, man. That's a big number to go against a team
it's a large number.
That's
It's a large number.
12-1 or 11-1.
It's crazy how much that's moved.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't get it. I guess because I thought the rain would actually go in the favor of the 49ers because I know you got Ingram in Baltimore, but the Ravens all go through Jackson and the way he runs the ball, and we haven't seen him really in the rain, I don't think, in like the pouring down rain. So I don't know. I can't go with Baltimore. I love San Francisco at 5.5, so I'll take that one. Finally, guys, locks of the week. What do you got?
I'm going to go against Big Web's underdog pick with my lock. I love the New England Patriots. I love them this week. I don't see how they lose to a Texans team that is so top-heavy. Their defensive backs stink. They're on, like, Jonathan Joseph, who's, like, 37 years old, and they have nobody else back there. They traded for Garyon Conley from the Raiders, but he stinks too. They can't guard anybody, and in addition to that, they have a tough time keeping Watson upright, even with the newly acquired Laramie Tunsil. I think that Belichick will be able to suffocate the Texans defensively, and Tom, like he always does, will do enough to get it done. I just don't see how the Patriots lose this game.
Nick?
I am abandoning my lock
Oh, my God.
with the Chargers.
Because of Drew Lock.
And I am putting all my money in the fact that Drew Lock is going to get the job done. But I'm locking the Jets this week, and I think they're going to win that game. Like I said, just too many points in the past few weeks. They're finally figuring it out. Sam Darnold's healthy. Got their weapons there, finally rolling. Receivers are doing well. Running backs doing well. And their defense is doing good enough to stop the miserable Cincinnati Bengals.
Big Web?
I'm jumping on that, Nick. I tell you right now, that team, like I said, scored 34 points 3 weeks in a row, and they're just a much better all-around football team than Cincinnati, and that point spread is low. Give me the Jets, please.
You know, I'm going to go stay with my original pick. I'm going with the Panthers against Washington, minus 10.5. This is going to be a huge day for Christian McCaffrey, for Kyle Allen, for the entire Panthers offense.
What is it? It was 9.5.
It's 10.5 now.
I thought that's what you said.
Well, 9.5 was on CBS, and then they changed 10.5, which is
that's a big
is
point.
kind of it is a big point. I think they're going to win this game by 14 or 21. I mean, I don't see Washington moving the football against them. I don't think Haskins is the guy, and McCaffrey's unstoppable, and he's shown that he's unstoppable against good teams. Imagine against what he's going to do against Washington.
Good.
DJ Moore also had a breakout week last week. I just think Kyle Allen, again, for DFS picks, I hate to give it up because I have him. I want to have less people have him and pick him, but if you want to go DFS pick, you got to go Kyle Allen.
Season, TJ.
And you got to go
You're a
DJ Moore.
guy.
This is a big time stuff. This is a big week for the Carolina
I'm all
Panthers.
aboard the DJ Moore train in fantasy too.
Yeah,
Love it.
That's big time.
All right, guys, that's our picks for week number 13. Last but not least, for sure, we have Big Web's best bet of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we talked, we're sitting at $90 right now in the pot. Didn't have to dip back in the pocket all year. It's only week 13. We're still going here. We have for you today a 6-team teaser, a 7-point teaser, 16 7-point teaser.
16 teaser.
$50 wins you $250.
Oh, woo!
We have the Green Bay Packers pick 'em.
Pick 'em.
We have the Packers under 50.
Under 50.
We have the Ravens under 52. We have the Tennessee Titans +7.
Love it.
We have the Bucks +4, and we have the Jets +3.5. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's
So
6.
50 pays you $250 there. Now, to cover that bet, what we're gonna do: $40 two-way parlay. We have the Tennessee Titans,
Love it.
and we have the Jets.
The Jets.
That's
All
our
right.
two-way parlay. $40 two-way parlay pays you right around $100.
That one's going to win for sure. Guaranteed.
That's it.
Now, it's supposed to be raining in Baltimore the entire time throughout the game. It's 40 degrees, 57% for the game. So,
All right.
expect it in 13-mile-an-hour winds. So, expect it to be raining pretty much the entire game.
Rain.
He's all over the under,
rain,
52.5.
Rain.
Did that number change? Was it ever higher because of the rain? Did it go down, or was it already there?
I didn't watch it. It was 45. I saw it in the last hour, but it was 45.
Oh my God!
Gotta get
It was
them-
at 45. It's 38.5 now.
Got to get them weather reports, yeah.
For real.
38.5 now.
Dude, I got it in right.
Oh
here. I
wait!
got it in.
No. That's totally wrong. Hold on. That's a way different game. Hold on.
Plummeting.
Hold
I was
on.
like, what?
That would be
TJ was looking like week 11.
45.5. Yeah, you're right. 45.5.
Week
Yeah,
11.
Yeah. I was looking at Washington, Carolina. A little different. A little different game.
A bit different. Not much offense in that one. Yes.
Little different game.
Yes.
All right, guys. Any last-minute hot takes before we wrap this one up?
Yes.
Okay, what do you got, Nick?
Shout out to the Smet Spartans, state champions, baby. 14-0.
Two sports.
And shout out
sports.
to Barry
Three.
Odom. Hey.
And Barry Odom getting fired. Mizzou was a weird day yesterday. Go down to Columbia for the DeSmet championship, and then here Barry Odom gets fired. So everybody has to go over to the press conference at the same time the game started.
It's always weird when you
for
get
DeSmet.
fired like right after a win.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, I think they had it planned.
Well,
but
right.
That's what they
but
figured.
It's always weird when that happens.
Got sources that are saying there's more to the situation that hasn't come out yet. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, sad day for Mizzou. Good day for the Spartans though. Coach Steeples bringing them from 1-9 2 years ago back to 14-0.
So shout
There you
out
go.
to Smet Spartans. But Nick, I do want to get your opinion on this. What do you think? Do you agree with the firing of Barry? I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't
I don't. Pending what else is coming out.
If it's just the record,
Yeah,
you mean.
yeah.
If
sure.
it's just the record, because Barry Odom 6-6, he had a good defense. I think I absolutely said I've said it 100,000 times. Get Derek Dooley, send him to Antarctica.
Yeah.
He is the worst
Yeah.
offensive coordinator in the history of college football. He had all those weapons. Kelly Bryant, 5-star QB, played at Clemson, and you couldn't figure it out in an SEC with the East, easier division than the West, with the
Right.
easiest schedule you're going to have in 10 years. And
Easy
you
schedule. You played Wyoming, powerhouse.
Yeah, powerhouse Wyoming. I mean, after the loss to Vanderbilt, it was pretty much somebody was getting fired.
Yeah.
And for it to be Barry Odom, it sucks because I still think he was the right guy for the job. Defensively, he had everything clicking, but the offense just could not figure it out to save their life. And so he takes the hit. Sucks for Barry, but especially if there's more to come out that we haven't seen yet,
Yeah.
then that's definitely going to be a factor. If not, though, I don't agree with it. But again, it wasn't a Jim Sturck hire, so Jim Sturck's, like he did with Konzo, is going to go in there and get his guy to be the football coach, and excellence is demanded at the University of Missouri. It's not like Illinois, where at 6-6 and you get a raise and an extension at 6-6.
Oh, you're gonna rile up Caller Blake.
Yeah.
Look out.
I mean Illinois. They just lose to 2-9 Northwestern. I'm looking forward to the basketball game, the bragging rights game, where Mizzou will dominate
Nick,
Illinois.
they lost to Butler by. They should have been 14. They hit a last minute.
There we go.
Well, getting a little rough, early on in the season, getting the kinks worked out. But
Yeah.
when Illinois comes, that's the game.
Okay. We'll wait for it. I'm going to go. I'm not even an Illinois fan. I'm going to go wear orange, though, and
Just wear
be,
orange?
Be like right in the middle of the fans where they split, and I'll be
Yeah.
rooting for Illinois. And then if Mizzou does good, I'll take off my shirt and have a black shirt
there
for
you go.
Mizzou.
There you
I'll
go.
go back and forth. It'll be good content. It'll be
Nice.
great. All right.
Perfect.
One more shout out to our great sponsors, Cafe Telegraph, 2650 Telegraph Road here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you could not make it out to the show, make sure you come down here today. Best smoked meats in town. We'll be here all day watching football, drinking beer. It's going to be awesome. K. Roberts Remax Gold, 314-409-4113, the best real estate agent in St. Louis. Family Finance Mortgage, Sarah Barron, 314-537-1282. And last but not least, St. Louis Distillery. Find them online at stldistillery.com. Mention TJ, Nick, or Brews on the Balcony. You get a free tour and a free tasting, and try that Brew Vodka, distilled from craft beer, $19.99 a bottle. It's delicious. It's smooth. Go get your bottle today. Well, guys, thanks for all your help, obviously, today. It's going to be fun next few weeks here for the pickup.
Yes.
Thank you for all the great guys coming out here, and gals coming out here to Cafe Telegraph. Great fans today. Love it. Love to see it. And obviously for our great sponsors and everybody watching on Facebook Live, we'll see you for Week 14 next week.